I just find it weird that the state's attorney general, right, the U.S. attorney general, all of a sudden has her dog eat her homework, right, or eat her clients list, and that Kash Patel is all of a sudden dementia ridden and he doesn't know anything about anything, and JD Vance wants to talk about a bunch of stuff that is not the Epstein files, and also the Epstein files are literally on my desk, and also the Epstein files were made up by Obama and the Democrats, the Democrats, and all this other stuff. I think that all their narratives are a little bit mixed up. They were not able to get inside of the damage control room and come up with a story that's coherent, and everybody's telling a different lie. So I just find that interesting.
Everybody in politics has a vice that's much worse than alcoholism is the way that I put it. But we
release the list.
Seriously, we need to release the Epstein list. That is an important thing.
Right. And you might say, well, what does this have to do about Bitcoin? What this has to do about Bitcoin is the ethos of Bitcoin. It's the fact that Bitcoin can't be changed, right? It can't be altered. It can't be tricked. It can't be faked. It can't be hacked. It can't be manipulated. It can't be lied about. Bitcoin is truth. Bitcoin is a truth machine. Every 10 minutes, a block gets mined. And when a block gets added to the blockchain, it's there forever. You cannot reverse or undo or change the blockchain. That is why it's so powerful. It is the only true thing that can stand the test of time, right? And it can be an actual accurate ledger of not just monetary transactions, but of history itself. Every 10 minutes, a snapshot of history is taken that can never be changed, all right? If you think that the news is fake, or if you think that the government is constantly lying, right? Think about the past. The past is very easily alterable, all right? Thankfully for us, every single good guy ever in history has always won every single significant war or battle of all time, ever. That's always happened, right? Thankfully. Thankfully, we are so lucky. But history can be altered the same way that current events can be altered, the same way that we can be psyoped, the same way that we can be lied to and manipulated, right? Bitcoin is the only thing that is verifiably true forever because it can never be undone, right? That's just the way that the network works. You would need so much energy to change the Bitcoin network that it is economically infeasible, all right? It's not possible. An entire country directing all their energy and all their efforts towards the Bitcoin blockchain, trying to change it, that would not work, all right? They would not be able to get 51% of the network. And even if they did, they would need to maintain 51% for the entirety of the rest of human civilization, which would never happen. All right. So when you look at the footage of Mr. Epstein's cell, right, being edited with Adobe, right, and having a minute taken out of the raw footage, right, which is very interesting, and all of a sudden all the guards are asleep, they were all just sleeping on the job, and we don't really know what happened, and we didn't really hear anything. And also the autopsy came back a little bit weird, but at the end of the day, he did it himself, It's just like how, you find someone, they have 6 wounds to the back of their head. Obviously, they did it to themselves. They unalived themselves. You know what I mean? 6 warning shots to the back, obviously unalived themselves, right, guys? So pretty obvious. No need to ask any more questions. Matter of fact, why are we even talking about this? Who even cares? Who cares? That happened like 20 years ago. We don't care about past events. All right. Let's focus on the future. Can we please talk about something else, please? Guys, can we please talk about something else? I'm begging you, please. What is happening? What is happening? Who's really pulling these strings? Why is Ghislaine Maxwell in jail? We should just free Ghislaine Maxwell. She should be freed today because she was trafficking to nobody. I think she was framed. Judged like a piece of art. She was framed. Just let her out, bro. Why did Jeffrey get arrested? I think he was innocent. I mean, he had no client list. So, honestly, we should have just freed him. He was a good guy. He didn't do anything bad, ever. They were just ordering cheese pizzas, you know what I'm saying? And they were just, ordering some Disney princesses and doing a little bit of texting in code, having a little bit of fun with it. You know, just having some foreign leaders coming over to a crib, you know, having everybody fly out to the island, you know what I'm saying? Maybe a little blackmailing going on, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, just the usual Saturday night activities, you know, a little Saturday night tings at the crib. And yeah, honestly, I think they just go ahead and free Jillian Maxwell. She was trafficking to nobody. Also, who cares about the victims, bruh? The victims aren't even real. At the end of the day, you know, as far as I'm concerned, there are no victims. I mean, there's no client list, there's no victims. You know, who really cares, bro? Who really cares, bro? We need to be focusing on Hunter Biden's laptop. All right, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what we really should be focusing on. We should be focusing on the real enemy, like Iraq. You know. So just think that's interesting. Just think that's really, really interesting that all of a sudden the whole story was release the files. And then, oh, the files are on my desk and the files are coming out in part 1, like it's an Avengers movie. The Epstein files, part 1, Secret Wars. What? Like, is this a joke to you? And now all of a sudden, actually, the files don't exist. Matter of fact, best I can do is deport you for asking about the files. That's the best I can do. Wasn't Elon Musk just talking about somebody really big like Donald Trump, somebody being in the files and that it was coming out because they were beefing? And then he got the call and had to walk that back and he said, I'm so sorry, everybody. I had a lapse in judgment. I was on too much ketamine. That was my bad, y'all. What happened with that? Wasn't Trump saying that Bill Clinton and some other people were in the files and he was going to release it and expose them? What happened with that? I just think it's interesting that the government dangles these carrots in front of people, right? And then yanks them away, all right? That's how you demoralize a nation, right? When you know that the entire country is run by people who are maybe, I don't know, you know, probably, I don't know, you know, can't say the word, but kid diddlers, right? And the kid diddlers also love protecting the other kid diddlers. And really what it is, it's just a almost like a show of force. You know, it's a show of, yeah, we did it, but what are you going to do about it? You know what I mean? Just find it interesting. And they can try to demoralize you. They can try to make you feel bad and gaslight you and make you feel crazy, but just don't give into it. Just don't fall for it. Don't let it happen, right? Keep pushing to try to hold these guys accountable. Are they above the law? Well, yeah, actually they are, because they write the laws. So yes, people who write the laws are actually above them. But when it comes to Bitcoin, nobody is above the law. That's why Bitcoiners love Bitcoin so much. You know, there is no one who can take over Bitcoin or control Bitcoin or change the rules of Bitcoin. And then that's it. Unilateral decision. You can't do anything. It is what it is. No, that's never the case. In Bitcoin, you always have a choice. In Bitcoin, you can always walk away. In Bitcoin, you can always follow your own rules. You can follow your own destiny, right? You can create your own value. You can't do that with anything else in the world, by the way. Everything else is confiscatable. Everything else is changeable. Everything else they can lie about. Everything else they can manipulate. Bitcoin's the only metric of truth that we have left, right? And that's why it is so important. It's the greatest technology of all time because of that reason. It's the only true thing that we have left in the universe. So respect it, understand it, and then harness its power. And then use that power for good. There's a reason why Jeffrey Epstein's banker, Jamie Dimon, hates Bitcoin and thinks it's a fraud and wants it shut down immediately, because it would probably show all the different transactions that they were doing, like when they got busted with all that snow on that yacht. You know what I mean? And all those transactions that he was doing for Mr. Epstein. Right? He would hate to have all those on a blockchain that is immutable and unchangeable and unhideable, right? Of course he would hate that. He's Jeffrey Epstein's banker. He'd probably be in big trouble. Probably. I mean, I don't know. You know, I'm just a guy playing a character on the internet. I don't know. And again, all these kids, they probably want to sue me. They probably want to, you know what I mean? They probably want to Epstein me. And of course they make it look kind of like, oh, it was just an accident, you know? But that's just my 2 cents on it. If you enjoy this type of content, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Share with someone who might also find it interesting. And remember, stack sats or die trying.